I cried my last tear yesterday. Amen. Part 2, I cried my last tear yesterday. Look at somebody and say, neighbor, I cried my last tear yesterday. See, they weren't paying you any attention. Find somebody else and say, neighbor, I cried my last tear yesterday. Now, if you believe that, you ought to give God praise. If you only believe it. Now, if you don't believe it, keep your hands in your mouth. But if you believe it, you ought to give God praise. If you believe it, you ought to give God praise. I said, if you believe it, you ought to give God praise. See, sometimes we have prophesied to yourself. I cried my last tear yesterday. See, the problem is most of you who are here, you heard it last Sunday. And you spoke it last Sunday. And something happened this week that made you cry again. Something happened Monday or Tuesday that made you cry again. And God said, don't get this message in your head, but get it in your heart. Because if you can get it in your heart, no matter what's on your mind, you will tell the devil, I'm not crying over that anymore. I'm looking at somebody who ought to get it in your heart. I'm not crying over this issue another night. I can put up the Kleenex, put up the tissue. I'm not crying another night over this issue because I cried my last tear yesterday. I thank God because our daughter Madison, listen, I was holding her one day, and all of a sudden she had started crying. So I put the bottle in her mouth, and she slapped it. Because that's not why I'm crying. So I checked her pamper to make sure she didn't use the restroom on herself. And that wasn't a problem. So I'm trying to figure out why is she crying. She was crying because she wanted more attention. So I told my wife, I said, listen, I'll be glad when she's able to talk. Because the same way she cried when she's hungry is the same cry when she needs attention. The same cry that she cries when she needs attention is the exact same cry she has when she needs change. I said, now when she get older and she has a problem, at least she can tell me what's wrong with her. Now, because she cannot talk, and there's a problem, the only thing she can do is cry. But I can't tell what's wrong with her because she is... I can't tell what's wrong with her because she cannot talk. Whenever there's a problem in her life, she can't tell me what's wrong with her. The only thing she could do is cry. Problem is, we're not babies. When there's a problem in our life, we cry. When bills are stacked up and you don't have money, we cry. When there's a problem in the household, we cry. And God says, when are we going to get to the point where we grow and say, God, listen, I got to tell you what's going on. And when you get to the point where you begin to tell God, that's when He can come in your life. Some of you are here right now, you got financial problems, but you got to stop crying and tell God, listen, you are my provider. I need my light bill paid. I need my gas bill paid. I'm talking to somebody, you got bills up in here, but your income is down in here. But you got to stop crying and tell God what's the problem. When you start beginning to tell God, because life and death is not in the power of your tears. But life and death is in the power of your tongue. God doesn't move because you cry. He moves when you begin to talk and say, God, listen, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. When are you going to get to the point you begin to tell God what you want and not just cry, but open up your mouth and begin to speak to the Lord? Here in Genesis chapter 21, Hagar had problems. She began to cry because now she's carrying a child she didn't even ask for. Abraham and Sarah could not have a child. And so they asked their slave girl, Hagar, can you come and help me? And when Hagar steps in to help, she now get hurt only because she's trying to help. And now she produced a son called Ishmael. And now that she has a son, they put her outside of their house. Because now she's blessed with the main thing they are trying to get. See, there are some people in your life, they'll be your friend as long as you're broke. But when God begins to move in your life, you'll find out the same hand that was, you'll find out the same person that was encouraging you or the same person that's discouraging you. Because as long as you are beneath me, that makes me feel high. But as long as you begin to elevate in your life, that's when people get problems. Because they think the only person she'll be blessed is them. So now she's getting blessed. She has a son, and they put her out. And when they put her out, she begins to cry. I'm hurt because I don't have a place to stay. I'm hurt because I don't have provisions. And they're out in the wilderness. She began to cry. Can I tell you, she cried her last tear yesterday. We discovered last week in verse 18, God tells Hagar to pick your boy up. Pick it back up. The dream that you had, pick it back up. The goal that you had, pick it back up. The vision that you had, pick it back up. Most of us, we put stuff down because we can't even afford it. But God said when you pick it back up, you're not picking it back up based on what you have in your pocket. But you're picking it back up based on your mere faith. God, if you gave me the dream, I know you will provide it. I want to show you something. Verse 18, he said, pick up the lad with your hand. Show you why she stopped crying. He said, pick up the lad with your hand. Please don't miss this. He said, pick up the lad with your hand. Abraham gave her bread. He gave her water. The Bible says that the water was used up. So she had bread left. She did not pick up the bread and the boy. He said, now I only want you to pick up the boy. Abraham gave her the bread, but God gave her the boy. Abraham gave her the bread, but God gave her the boy. See, you crying because you're picking up some stuff that man gave you. But when you only pick up some stuff that I gave you, then you will start crying. See, how many of you are crying over their relationship that God didn't give you in the first place? How many of you are crying over a job that God didn't give you? But by faith, I'm only going to pick up what God gave me. God, if you didn't give it to me, I'm going to leave it on the ground. If you didn't want me to have it, I'm going to leave it on the ground. But in this season of my life, I'm only going to pick up the main thing God told me to pick up. We lay Madison on the floor, and while she's on the floor, she has a tendency to pick up everything in her sight. Paper, she'll pick it up. Pen, she'll pick it up. Pencils, she'll pick it up. But as she mature in her age, there can be some stuff I can't pick that up. That's bad for me. I can't get that. That's bad for me. When you grow up in Christ, you are selective. I don't care how she looks. I don't care how she dresses. I don't care what shape she got. If it's not of God, I'm going to leave it right there. I don't care how he looks. He can have abs of steel. If God, you told me leave it alone, I got to leave it alone. I can't pick that up. I got to leave it down. There's some stuff I cannot pick up, because if I pick it up, it'll end up hurting me. How many of you end up being hurt by some stuff that God didn't want you to have in the first place? I remember the other night, she was on the floor. She had some paper in her hand. She picked it up. She put it in her mouth. And I ran and got it, took it away from her. And when I got it, she started crying. She's crying. can't cry over this again. I got to analyze what I have. God, is this from you or not? And if it's not from you, I got to put it down. Maybe I'm crying for nothing. Crying over job when God got a better one for you. You're crying over a person that left you, and when they left you, God says about time. You're crying over people that hurt you, and when they hurt you, it pushed you into your purpose. If it had not been for that, you would not have this. Pick the boy up. Leave the bread down. Pick the boy up. Pick the boy up. Verse 19. He opened up her eyes. When he opened up her eyes, the Bible said she saw a well of water. She said, I'm going to stop crying. Number one, because I'm only going to pick up that which God gave me. Verse 19, he opened up her eyes and she saw a well of water. Please don't miss this. Abraham gave her a skin of water, but God showed her a well of water. Abraham gave her a skin, was a small container. Abraham gave her a skin of water, and God gave her a well of water. The well represents the source. Because when Abraham gave her the water, he got it out of the well. And when he got it out of the well and put it in the skin, don't stop too soon, watch this. When he got it out of the well and put it in the skin, it became a resource. The well was a source, but when he put it in the skin, it became a resource. You're crying over the resource. She's crying because the resource ran out. And God said, don't shed another tear over the resource. If you open up your eye, I'll show you the source. She opened up his eyes. And when she opened up her eyes, she seen the source. You mean to tell me this is what Abraham got the water from? I can get it myself. When God opened up your eyes, you can get it yourself. God open up my eyes and show me where my source is. Crying over your job. Your job is a resource. The paycheck is a resource. The child support check is a resource. The check you get on the first of the month is a resource. And you get sad and you're crying because your check is late. Child support haven't kicked in 6 months. God said, don't cry over the resource. Open up your eyes and realize I am your source. You gotta open up your eyes and realize I am your source. Don't you cry over that job another night. You may be unemployed. The only thing that's been cut off is your resource, but you still got your source. God opened up her eyes and she seen the well, which tells me the well's already there. God did not bring her the well. He did not go buy one from Lowe's. He did not have to have one installed. She cried right by the well. She was about to give up and she's right there by the well. She's ready to throw in a towel and she's right there by the well. It wasn't until she stopped crying. She realized she already had what she lost. It wasn't until she stopped crying but she realized what I've been crying over. I'm here crying over a bill that's already paid. I'm crying over provisions that God has already her by the well, and she's crying, but God had to open up not her natural eyes. It opened up spiritual eyes. Which means she already had more than enough. But she cried because she didn't have enough. She's crying because she didn't have enough, but she already had more than enough. You got to open up your eyes, because see, you're crying because you don't have enough. But by faith, you have more than enough. You already got it. But God, open up my eyes and show it to me. Show me my will. Show me my will. Show me my will. Open up my eyes and show me my will. If you show me my will, I tell people I'm doing well. The marriage is doing well. My finances is not jacked up, but it's well, because God showed me where my well is. And if God showed her where her well is, that means she had more than enough. She can get water when she wants to. She can get fed when she wants to. It's a surplus because God showed her her well. Reason why you gotta stop crying, because God gonna show you your source. You cry over the resource. God is showing you. You know how long she been out there thirsty? Wanting something to drink. You know when you trying to make something stretch. I'm going to say something for the morning, something for the evening. They will drop the night, lick the bottom of the cup in the morning. You're making it stretch. Because you only have just enough. You ever got down to your last toothpaste? You don't want to go to work and break smell like hot bottles. So you get the toothpaste and you know it's empty, but you know by faith I can get something out of this. So you're in the bathroom and you press it down from the bottom. Roll it up. And your wife said, "Baby, why are you in the bathroom for an hour?" Trying to get this toothpaste out. And listen, you get excited. Not because you see a long tooth. If a little bit comes out, you say, I can work with this. See, God is giving you a little bit of this time to see, can you work with that? Can you work with the stuff you have left? You're complaining about what you don't have, but can you get your $2? I can work with this. I may not have the whole paycheck, but I can work with this. I can get something out of this. How she felt. She felt bad. I did that one day. Rolling up. Trying to get something out. I felt real bad. My wife bought 2 of them. I spent all this time trying to get something out of the tooth. A brand new tooth put up. I didn't even see it. She's standing at the well, trying to make it stretch, when God had a reserved amount of water waiting on her. you know God has more waiting on you, and you're crying, trying to make $2 stretch, and God has a surplus waiting on you? Stand at the wheel. God opened up her eyes and showed her the way. Lastly, verse 19. She gets the cup, the skin, dip it, and fill it all the way up. Take it to the son. Because he's been waiting on this. He's been sitting down, waiting on water. Mama didn't see the water. Because biblically, Abraham was the only person that could fill the cup. Abraham was the only one that could fill her cup. And God sent her to what sitting there. And God opened up her eyes. Because he dreamed of sitting for a long time. Went on Dad show up. And Dad never came. Because you know, Hagar didn't have a job. She survived by child support. So Abraham, verse 14, gives her a small skin of water, a loaf of bread, thinking that if you do that, he's a father. Wow. So he made one child support payment. He gives her water, bread, and a pitcher. I don't show this so you can see my face. Hagar's out there without a job, haven't seen child support in months. The boy said, Mama, Dad come bring the water. He said, Son, I don't know. He said, he was coming this weekend, he haven't showed up yet. He said, he was coming last weekend. We haven't seen him. I checked the mailbox. I don't see anything in there. At least he can call. He never called me. I gotta be there. Mother and father at the same time. And so I'm crying because I didn't get this boy by myself. With all the money Abraham got and some bread, what do you mean, Abraham? He's not a vegetarian worse than me. Bread and water. Make it one day. Now he ran down. So he waited on Abraham. He never showed up. Some of you are running, you waiting on something. They haven't showed up. Paycheck. They haven't showed up. Somebody promised you some money. You said, well, Dad, I pay this off. And I haven't showed up. You loan somebody some money because you love them. And the money you gave him was your bill money. Now your doctor's against the wall. But it hasn't showed up. She's waiting for it to show up. So God steps down from heaven. What's so amazing, the Bible says that angels spoke to her out of heaven. It's one thing for the angels to say, hey, big boo, y'all go. But for the angels to speak from heaven, it's directly from God. And she said, you know what? You mean tell me I don't have to wait on Abraham? No. You mean to tell me I don't have to wait till the first of the month? I'm going to bring you the well. The miracle part is, when she got the water herself, and she filled the water herself, and fed her child herself, season, he's cutting out the middleman. See, I don't know about you. He's cutting out the middleman and taking you straight to the source. You ain't got to wait on your paycheck. He's cutting out the middleman. You don't have to wait on the first of the month. He's cutting out the middleman. See, when God cuts out the middleman, he moves you from being an employee to employer. He cuts out, you don't get this first. He cuts out the middleman. So he cuts out the middleman. You have to call in and say, when can I be off? I mean, you make your own schedules. When he cut out the middleman, you write your own paycheck. When we cut out the middleman, you tell yourself, how much I want to make this weekend. You don't hear me? When God cut out the middleman, so when he cut off the middleman, he showed you where your well is. And when you find out where your well is, you can get how much you want to get. You won't ever top out on your job. Because when you top out, you work hard and don't get paid for it. You don't hear me? But when you find out where your well is, when you find out where your well is, I'm already blessed. Can't nobody fire this. I hire myself. You don't hear me? You got to find out where your well is. Somebody well may be doing hair. Somebody well may be cutting grass. Somebody well may be a cleaning business. Find out where your well is. And when you find where your well is, that's your gift. You can provide for your whole family. Take it. You wait. Somebody else will bless you. When I take you to your well, you know how to do it yourself. Take it to your well. You find out where your gifting is. It's unlimitless. And what you can do. There's a gifting on the inside. A calling on the inside that craves. I gotta have my own. I gotta own some stuff. Because I take you to where your well is. But guess what? The well wasn't in the city. The well was in the desert. There's a miracle in your life. I'm allowing you to prosper. In places people say won't work. I never seen a well in the desert. But when God is up to it, I cannot fail if I'm in the desert. Yes, something you want to do. You want to step out, but somebody told you it won't work. So now, all that you got is a skin of water in your hand. When God is trying to get you away. But how long you going to wrestle with this skin and find out, God, you have given me a well. And with this well, I can do all things through Christ that gives me strength. I cried my last year. Closing, I cried my last year. So I realized I'm not going to pick up stuff that don't belong to me. Some of you are stressed out over stuff for nothing. Got unnecessary weight on your shoulder. Gotta take some stuff off, put some stuff on. And what I'm carrying, God gave me something. And if I get weak in the process, He's my strength. Because when I'm weak, He's strong. Because God cannot strengthen you to carry some stuff He didn't give you. He cannot strengthen you to carry weight He didn't give you. So if you don't have strength in that area, maybe He didn't give it to you. So secondly, have to realize I'm not going to cry over resources when I have the source. So I may not see a resource, but I got a source. Because God is my provider. And it's hard for most of us because we don't have joy until we see it. But not seeing it and realize you got it anyway. You apply for the job, they call you and say you're hired. You haven't worked yet, but you tell people I got the job. That's how God operates. You got it. The money, you got it. The healing, you already got it. But because you don't see it yet, you cry. But please get to the point. I'm not going to cry with resources when I got the sauce. I'm going to make this thing scratch and scratch when I got the well right by my side. Lastly, God is moving out the middleman. Because man should not supply my need. God does. He uses man. And when man don't do it, I find somebody else. You may have lost your job, that's a resource. You didn't lose your source. I put your resource in somebody else's hand and make the bill be paid. Your car will still be paid. You don't rely on the resource. Thank God you still got your source. Come on, give God praise. Hallelujah. Come on, bless the name. Come on, bless him. Hallelujah. Come on, bless him. Come on, come on, come on.